The Roblox Spawnism drama got worse. Welcome back to another video. Usually I don't start off with this music, but what's going on, bro? What's going on? I'm hearing that somebody actually oofed, deleted off of this stuff. I thought we were past it. Speaking of which, Chesbell joined my Discord server. He was like, I'm innocent. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yo, bro, my mind was blown and my mind was like, yeah, bro, I just muted him. I was like, all right. Like, I'm pretty sure ban him. I don't know. I think they banned him by now. I don't know. But yeah, bro, that was interesting. You know, I don't really be in my Discord all that much, so that's like its own economy. But I found that super interesting. Discord down below, by the way, discord.gg/COG if the link does not work. Yeah, it should work. Everybody tells me it don't work, but it literally works. Like, if it don't work for you, hold on, I gotta show you right now because people will sit here in the comments and be like, it don't work. You see the link, discord.gg/COG. It says right there up top. I click it, what happens? There you go. Boom. Me right there. You know, that's a couple years ago. That's young. You know what I'm saying? But let's do it.
After my last video...
Wait, hold on. What did he say on that last part? I was able to read everything else, believe it or not.
After my last video...
Bro, I keep missing the part I'm trying to read. This video will not mention all of the 60 plus victims that came out. Oh, sheesh.
After my last video about the Spawnism situation, a lot has happened. Over the past week, more than 50 people have reached out to me sharing their stories and providing thousands of screenshots exposing just how manipulative and dangerous this group really is. What I've seen is deeply concerning. Children are being pressured into disturbing rituals, encouraged to harm themselves, and mentally broken down by people who claim that this is all for some higher purpose. And unfortunately, this has already led to a situation where someone met a tragic end.
How sure are we that all of these are true though? Like, should everything said on Discord be taken at face value? Like, do we have proof? Cause these kids like to lie, bro. I'm not saying like somebody passed away, RIP, and that's tragic. But I'm just saying for clarity and so that we don't just jump the gun on a lot of this. Because a lot of it is children and younger people. You know, in my country, we like to say stuff like vant your plan. If you know, you know. So we'll see.
Proving just how serious the so-called belief system really is. On top of that, the leaders of this group are now spreading false accusations against Roblox creators like Ruben Sim, Parlo, and Creekcraft, trying to shift the blame away from themselves instead of taking accountability for what's happening. If you agree that Spawnism isn't real and is a serious danger to everyone online, please make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share it around, because the more people who know the truth, the harder it'll be for these people to keep getting away with this. For those who didn't see the first video, here's a quick recap. Spawnism started as what looked like a fake religion based around a Roblox spawn point decal, but it quickly turned into something much darker. Kids, many of them between the ages of 13 to 15 years old, were convinced to take part in strange rituals, symbols into their skin, and even themselves, all under the belief that they'd gain.
But why, bro? Why? If I'm that age, you have to know that. And that's why I was saying before that it kind of start with the parents. Because I just feel like, why would you even degrade yourself to this level, even if you're an impressionable young kid? Where's the communities? Where's the pastors? If not the pastors, where's the educators? I'm gonna stand on that. We need an internet education course for one marking period, one lesson plan. We need to teach internet safety. You have to, bro, because this is out of hand. If these are real, and I'm to believe that all of this actually took place, it is just not some super good AI or super good Photoshop, then yeah, bro, getting out of hand.
In a second life. This wasn't just edgy roleplay, it was real psychological manipulation targeting vulnerable children, kids dealing with neglect, emotional struggles, and in some cases serious mental health issues. And now, with new evidence, we know just how much worse it's gotten. Before this video begins, I want to make something very clear. There are supposedly 3 different groups of Spawnism, all run by separate people. But let me be absolutely honest.
Yo, gang, y'all spawning in and resurrecting new leaders? Nah, this might actually become a problem. If there's 3 different heads of this mafia, this might actually be a problem. Wow. Welcome to modern society, bro.
Honest with you, every single one of them is a horrible, dangerous. It doesn't matter which group you're talking about, all of them encourage manipulate vulnerable kids and
Bro, all of this because of Forsaken. There's no way Forsaken is this influential. Dog.
use fear tactics to keep control. So when I talk about Spawnism in this video, I'm talking about all of it, because no matter how they try to separate themselves, they're all doing the same thing. Spawnism thrives on exploiting pain. One of the most disturbing new cases to come out is a victim we'll refer to as Green. Green was manipulated so deeply that he literally cut off majority of the skin from his arm as a so-called sacrifice. He was completely alone, his family wasn't around, and the only people encouraging him were other Spawnists who called it a true act of faith. Another victim we've previously spoken about, just 14 years old, was convinced to eat pieces of his own because the leaders told him that doing so would help him reach the second life, and he genuinely believed it. And these aren't isolated incidents. Over 50 people have now—
and I'm only laughing because it makes me hysterical. Like, I don't like to talk about religion, right? Because I feel like everybody has their own belief system, but we don't have enough morals going around. It doesn't matter what you believe in. I don't want to just sit here and say one answer, but you need to be able to ground yourself, because if you had those beliefs, those commandments, you would already know doing something that is off the table, bro. What are y'all talking about? Who are we worshiping?
come forward with similar stories showing just how widespread this manipulation really is.
I see Korea. This worldwide? I be forgetting how the internet and Discord is really able to just seamlessly put everybody in one place all at the same time. It's almost something that's not natural about it. Jeez.
One of the key figures in this is Chesbol, who calls himself the prophet of Spawnism. But instead of being any kind of spiritual leader, Chesbol has been using his fake authority to kids for his own gain. The most disturbing example is Chesbol's interaction with the victim named Azur. In leaked messages, Chesbol pressured Azur to turn on their camera, telling them that the lords of the spawn cannot choose you if they do not know what you look like. When Azur said that they were scared, Chesbol replied with, "You do not need to be scared. The lords of the spawn have sent me to guide you to the path of a second life, for it is a gift you are receiving." From there, his demands got worse. Chesbol asked Azur to lift their shirt, claiming it was necessary to measure their bodies so that they could be recognized by the lords of the spawn when they were close to the second light. Just for some additional context, Azur was 14 years old. This wasn't—
But like, my whole thing is like, we're on the internet. Like, it's like, the digital world is scary, because this incident cannot be just a Roblox incident. Like, it kind of starts to become its own entity. Like, because this is taking place on Twitter. Like, this infection is already spread. It's here. Like, this isn't isolated, bro. This isn't a Roblox problem anymore. This is just a problem on the internet. Because now it's a thing, and they're going to become martyrs, a lot of them. A lot of them are going to feel like now the spawn is gaining more power. So, dog, you have to leave it like, I understand spreading awareness, but at a certain point, like I don't, because what are you really gonna do? There's so many different countries and states and bodies of powers that are involved in all of this in the same time. Because then what are you gonna say? Shut down Discord, Roblox, Twitter? No, like, bro, it's society. You guys are watching society crumble in real time, and I'm just so dumbfounded by, like, my age and watching what the younger generation is having to go through because of, like, bigger issues going on in the world. That's why, like, I don't understand prejudice or people who are racist, because we in it together. Like, this is an issue and a problem that's affecting every community around the world globally. You know what I mean? Let's just say this is only 200, 300, 400, 500 people. Well, those 400, 500 people are scattered all around the globe. How are you going to help everybody all over the world all at once when this is taking place on multiple different platforms on the world of the internet and also in multiple different countries in the world. Like, dog. And then we just keep talking about it, and you know what happens with trends, right? If it's popular, everybody's talking about it, more people are susceptible to it. Dog, I don't have the answers, man. I think everybody need to ground themselves, bro. Go find God.
religion, this was manipulation, pure and simple. Thankfully, Azur realized what was happening and refused, telling Chesby directly, "Hell no, I'm not stupid, I know what you're trying to do." But this just shows how far Chesby is willing to go, using fear and fake religious promises to pressure minors into giving him inappropriate access. Chesby also manipulated other victims into his name into their skin as a and these screenshots show him praising these acts as proof of loyalty, turning SH into something he celebrated. This wasn't about Spawnism's fake god anymore, this was about Chesby feeding his ego. When called out, Chesby didn't deny anything. Instead, he brushed this all off as anti-Spawn propaganda. He claimed that all the evidence against him was made up by people who wanted to destroy Spawnism. Chesby isn't a prophet. He's a manipulator who hides behind false religions to and control kids.
But it's like, imagine, right, the Spawnists, they're having group discussions and they're probably having Discord stages where they're preparing the followers, the masses for this. They're like, they're gonna say bad things about my name, but fear not. The Spawn is, you know what I'm saying? And these kids are like, yeah. So these videos are almost fueling. Like it's such a crazy paradox. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm just a spectator. Jeez.
Now, let's talk about the next leader of Spawnism. He calls his version of Spawnism the official one, but his leadership looks more like a dictatorship than any kind of belief system. When confronted about victims themselves, SK coldly said that question is irrelevant. When he was asked about the link to Spawnism, he replied with, "There's no proof of anyone." And in one chilling,
oh my gosh. And once again, what I said earlier, there's no way that you could prove somebody in Indonesia did this because you have no contact with them after that takes place. Bro, oh my, oh no, we have a real problem. No, bro, I don't even, dog, that just blew my, we have a real problem. Yo, this is a real problem. You can't, he's right. You can't prove it. You literally cannot prove. Be safe, bro. Be safe out there, y'all boys. Getting scared.
message when told about someone's serious SK told his followers, "Pretend you never saw it." Green, the same person who cut off the skin off his arm, was openly spoken about in Spawnist circles long before SK responded, and when members began discussing another victim who tragically lost their life after being manipulated into these rituals, SK dismissed it all as anti-Spawn propaganda. Instead of taking responsibility, SK lied to his followers to keep control, and he tried brainwashing these kids, teaching them dangerous ideas like infinite regeneration, where you supposedly respawn after if you follow the rituals. SK's version of Spawnism isn't faith, it's fear and control. Spawnist leaders are now trying to shift.
And then what's going to stop somebody from, doing something like this, faking it, and then being like, yeah, I resurrected? Because now we have somebody who actually is a symbol, but you wouldn't know this. These would be well kept secrets among the higher echelon cultists. You wouldn't be able to really. Gen Alpha, bro, I bid you good luck, bro. Being born right now, like if you were just born and you're going through elementary and middle school and you're just entering high school, you need to be really careful, bro. Go touch grass. And I can't even really say real life neither, because this happens in real life just differently and way more tactfully And that's why you're seeing the economy. Yeah, I ain't gonna say too much. I ain't gonna say
attention
too
away
much.
from themselves by blaming unrelated creators. Chesby, Defender, and other Spawnist figures have now started spreading false accusations against Ruben Sim, Parlo, and Creecraft by calling them anti-Spawn propagandists. This is completely false. These creators have nothing to do with Spawnism, and in fact, they've spoken out against it. By attacking popular YouTubers, Spawnist leaders are trying to distract their followers from the real issue. Kids are being and leaders like Chesby and SK are responsible. Now let's talk about something that's even more disturbing than what we've already covered, the connection between Spawnism and the UTTP, specifically the 764 organization. Klask, also known as Glenn, one of the 3 leaders of Spawnism, isn't just running for manipulation and control, he's directly tied to the UTTP, the leader of it, a group already wanted by the FBI. Klask openly calls 764 an NLM rather
What? They're wanted by the FBI on Roblox. Bro, we're in over our heads. I'm not gonna lie, at a certain point, the Roblox community gotta let this one go. You have to let this one go. This is so out of your control. This is so out of your control. You have to. I ain't gonna lie, bro. And I'll say it here directly, real quick, just in case like this video does get a lot of motion, a lot of views. In this world, all things should be done within the framework of love. If love is not included in any action you are performing, well, then it's destruction. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. You know, you take that for what you will. Um, I just think it's sad that people feel like the community aspect has to come from these kind of things, and nobody ever made them feel loved enough and safe enough to where they wouldn't be susceptible to these kind of things. And again, it's a worldwide issue, right? So now I feel like I'm not even just speaking to 1, 2, 3, like I'm speaking to the world, and I'd be forgetting that that's like a thing as a creator. But you have love out here, bro. There's love out here, and don't fall for the fake kind, the one that's disguised, the one that's wrapped up, the ones that don't got your best interest at heart. If you got to second guess yourself, or if what's happening isn't something that your parents would be proud of, that you can't openly discuss, then more than likely, all right, because there's always an exception to a rule, but more than likely, you are doing something or you're somewhere you shouldn't be. But as far as this thing goes, this video, you might gotta let this one go. This is beyond just Roblox at this point.
boasting about their alliance and pushing members deeper into this organized network of. And this isn't just about brainwashing kids into Spawnist rituals. Klask and his group are actively funneling young members into Telegram groups, which are well known as hubs for illegal content, including cheese pizza trading. They specifically use Telegram because it's harder for law enforcement to monitor. Klask even makes it clear in his announcements that to join or get higher ranks like the Acolyte role, you have to perform what they call an IRL act. According to multiple insiders who left the group, these acts range from dangerous to possessing or distributing material, something that matches what the UTTP has been accused of doing before. Even worse, they're forcing these kids to register on Skibbity farms, which isn't just some random form. It's an IP grabbing and a cookie logging site, meaning at the moment.
And then once they got you like that, then they blackmail you and they take you for everything you got. And now that you're in too deep, you don't want to risk any of this. And you already seen it. One of the other videos we watched, they had pictures of one of the kids. And now the other kid was like, please, like you can use me instead. Come on, children, young people of the world. I mean, like young people of the world. Come on, bro. Get it together. I need to really be thinking, be mindful. It's evil out here. It's real evil. Like the anime cartoon villains that y'all see, that exist in real life. In the real world, the digital world, doesn't matter.
When a child signs up, Clask and his network can track almost everything they do online. But the real nightmare is that Skibbity Farms has been used to trade illegal material, and Spawnist leaders are coercing children to make accounts there under the guise of verification. Screenshots show kids as young as 13 years old sharing their Skibbity Farms profiles in the verification channel, desperate to be approved by these leaders. To make matters worse, they're also profiting off of this. Clask has enabled donations, encouraging children to give money to the organization as a sign of loyalty. Think about that. Kids already being manipulated are handing over their own money to fuel this operation. Before I end this video off, I want to mention something.
You got to remember, because once you have the operation flowing, right? Let's just hypothetically, these kids that are blackmailed that already feel like they're in too deep, that they're irredeemable, because right, we know that most people who do these kind of things, they feel like it's too late for themselves already. They want somebody to stop them, almost, right? They're gonna also be attracting young kids. She's 13. Well, if she's in this 14, 15 now, she's gonna be able to, it's okay, I'm doing And I think to myself, like, what do you do? And I'll say this continuously. I don't have the answers. I just think we need to teach this in schools. It needs to be mandatory.
I've been notified, specifically regarding the first group of Spawnism. The leader of that group, known as Chesbill, otherwise known as Oscar Samuel Stern, was allegedly apprehended by the police and has deactivated all of his social medias, meaning that the police are finally starting to get involved with Spawnism, and given with how bad police involvement usually is with online drama or situations in general, I think that alone should show you how serious the situation has really become. I've gathered all the testimonies and all of the evidence I've received from all of these victims and have made a very comprehensive cyber tip report to the FBI in hopes that they will actually do something with this situation, and I implore everyone, especially the victims, to reach out to any cyber tip report line, preferably if the websites end with .gov or .org, and report their experiences to those enforcement agencies so we could finally get a good ending to this very horrible situation. This isn't just a dangerous, it's an organized network designed to manipulate children and exploit them for financial gain and potentially involve them in criminal activity. So to quickly sum everything up, Spawnism isn't just some weird online joke, it's a
Yeah, I would say I agree with everything he's saying. I think you should. However, I'm going to offer another perspective just because you kind of have to. And the way I'm looking at it is I just be scared that it's going to make them more powerful. Like, bro, they're wanted by the FBI. Like, these guys are legit. Like, bro, like we could, like, this is like a real thing, and they hate us because of what we can do and what we can accomplish. And bro, I'm telling you, that's crazy that this is happening. Hopefully it can come to a peaceful resolution, bro. Hopefully it's not as far gone as I think already. But if you tell me there's underground networks already working on this and they're just using this to funnel even more members, it lets me know that there's something bigger going on.
dangerous ran by manipulative leaders who target young, impressionable people. We've seen Chesbill, the so-called prophet, minors and convincing them to harm themselves in the name of fake second life. We've seen Clask in the UTTP or 764 network, forcing kids to sign up for shady websites like Skibbity Farms, a site tied to illegal activity and used to track people, and now they're even moving children into private Telegram groups, which are notorious for illegal trading, all while asking for donations from these same kids. If there's one thing you should take away from this video, it's this. Spawnism is not real. People have already lost their lives because they were convinced it was. If anything, should be the ultimate proof that no second life is coming from Spawnism, only pain and manipulation. It's heartbreaking that it took someone's life to prove this. But please, take this as a warning. Talk to others about it, stay away from these groups, and if you see anyone involved, especially kids, please help them get out before it's too late. Spawnism is not a religion, it's a scam, and it's hurting real people. If you agree that Spawnism is a real danger to everyone online, please help me spread the word. Like, subscribe, and share this video. The more people who know the truth, the harder it'll be for to keep getting away with it.
Yeah, man, that's the hope. Well, y'all boys heard him. I don't really gotta say much. It's not real, bro. Have a good night. Go touch grass. Discord is for fun and games, not for sacrificing yourself.